Hey there, my name is Przemek, and today I got for you 4 reviews from Steinklang Industries. Steinklang Industries, an acclaimed label for the industrial underground, formerly Austrian. It was run by Max Presch back in the days, but then there was a kind of management transfer and now the label is run by Juris Sliders from Latvia, and it's still quite successful, I could say. Today I will talk about 4 albums released recently, but not very recently, not the very last ones, but the ones that were released at the end of 2024. Bresthaft, In Search of Death, Regarde Extrême, and Dieux, the Cimetières. We'll begin with this one, Bresthaft and Termination Transmission. Bresthaft is a German duo which, according to the label, is somehow connected with to Fruitwacht, a fairly well known and prolific project at the time. Bresthaft has released a few tapes so far, and Termination Transmission is its second CD, the second for Steinklang Industries. The cover itself shows that it won't be a light and pleasant experience. Black and white, quite ugly, perhaps a bit reminiscent of grindcore covers. This is how it looks inside. But Bresthaft is a power electronics constituting a kind of apotheosis of disgust and adoration of filth, both literally, because sometimes you feel like you are wallowing in the mud and shit, but perhaps most of all metaphorically, the filth hidden in the human's mind. As the label itself writes in the description of this album on the Bandcamp, Termination Transmission unveils an utterly misanthropic, nihilistic and hostile world of dirt, grime, disease and deformity. And there is no denying that it's an odyssey through the most repulsive regions of the soul. Sometimes Bresthaft does it in a power electronic style, then the structures of the compositions are still more or less transparent, and sometimes they explode with chaotic noise which causes havoc in your hearing organs. There are moments that are a bit more refined. I don't know if it's a right word for this kind of music, like track number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something nice and beautiful, which spreads apocalyptic visions in front of listener, but in a way it's not so invasive to the ear. I would say maybe death ambient, death industrial is this track, but such moments are exceptions, because overall it's one huge outburst of violent energy. The whole thing seems to be created exclusively with the help of analog means of expression, some synthesizers, analog synthesizers, some pedals, and in most tracks it is enriched with distorted vocals, which I admit I didn't listen to carefully. I mean, lyrics, wanting to preserve the last remnants of my sanity. Of course, all of this is suitably suggestive and doesn't leave the listener indifferent. Although, in my opinion, this album is definitely too long. Termination Transmission lasts over an hour, while at least in my opinion it should be a quick face face slap that will leave you lying on the floor, writhing in pain, Will I listen to it often? Probably not, because lately I rarely feel like more aggressive forms of post-industrial art, but I know there are fans of such sounds, there are quite a few of them, I would say. So for such degenerates, Termination Transmission is a very good proposition. Bresthaft, Termination Transmission. The second one is this one, In Search of Death 1. This is the title of the album. In Search of Death is an enigmatic project from Belgium led by Xavier H. I know one Xavier H from Belgium, a guy who creates deep ambient as Hoshin. I wonder if it's the same person who makes music in Search of Death. I don't know that. In any case, at the very beginning, when the previous album was released, it was, I think, titled 2. I wasn't particularly interested in this project, but I heard a few fragments in one of Michael Barnett's videos on his This Is Darkness channel, and I have to admit that I quite liked them. I decided to buy that album. It was from 2022, and although it didn't maybe blew me away as a whole, there's no denying that it has its good fragments. Like I said, that album was titled 2 and contained tracks recorded in years 2001 and 2002, and on the other hand, this one is titled 1. Let me show you the very aesthetic. I'm recording it during the day today, and you see the light from the window. Sorry for that. Because normally I always record after midnight. Well, anyway, it's not that important. But what I wanted to say, while that album was titled 2, this one is titled 1 because although released as a second, chronologically contains earlier recordings from the years 1999 to 2000. And what strikes me most about this album, and it was the same case with the previous one, is how aesthetic this music is, because you won't find here any complicated structures, a multitude of used tracks, some hidden sounds and meanings, some spectacular soundscapes, nothing like that. Rather, you'll find here a focus on individual sounds, loops or sequences, and polishing them, perfecting them, because as the project manifests in the album description, it is industrial. I think maybe it's dark industrial, but it's industrial that doesn't exude with itself, if you know what I mean. It doesn't hit you in the face with a machine beat or screamed vocals or anything. It's methodical. I would even say maybe it's even cynical. It's not classic industrial in the style of, I don't know, let's say, test depth, which is like a frustrated worker who goes on frenzy during some strike in the in the 80s. It's not Atrax morgue murderer who hits you in the face a couple of times and then slits your throat. In Search of Death is like a silhouette standing in the shadows. You don't see the face. You don't know what the intentions of that person are. You only see his shadow and the glow of a cigarette. This kind of feelings it raises in me. This music. It's all based on loops. Sometimes on raw beats, and sometimes some influences from dark ambient or death industrial. But In Search of Death never goes into full aggression. And you can hear that it was created 25 years ago. You can feel the spirit of the old Slaughter Productions or the old Loki Foundations from time to time. For fans of those sounds and that music, it is a good offering that can stir up some memories, And today, thanks to good mastering by Peter Anderson, I think it's a Peter Anderson from Raison d'Être, not the one from Japan. But thanks to that mastering, it still sounds really good, and it's probably worth devoting a few listens. In Search of Death 1. Number 3. It is this time Regard Extrême, Echo Solemnis. Regard Extrême is a French project by Fabien Nicot. In the 90s, he became famous for his collaboration with Les Joyaux de la Princesse. It was entitled Die Weiße Rose. And this is a project active since the early 90s, with a break of several years, 15 maybe, in the 2000s. But for quite a while, it seems that Regard Extrême has entered in Steinklang Industries for good, to the benefit of both Fabien Nicot and the label, of course. This is how it looks like. It is very, very nicely designed digipack, because you can see the cover, titles, and this one also has a booklet. Come on, the booklet with the lyrics in French. I really like this design. Yeah, here it says, at its core, this album is a testament to the power of music to transcend boundaries and evoke profound emotional responses. It invites listeners on a journey of self-discovery and contemplation, inviting them to explore the depths of the human experience through the lens of sound. This statement is a bit longer, but I read what I felt is most important. Because, to be honest, it's not my favorite type of music. It is a collection of quasi-neoclassical pieces often driven by martial drums, melodic and richly textured, even quite catchy at times, even sometimes with some medieval touch. But the insurmountable problem for me is the sound, which is very clean and synthetic, where you can hear that Echo Solemnis was largely, if not entirely, created using a computer. I mean, sure, I always say that creative musicians often have cool ideas, but they have no possibility to implement them physically into their music. Like, they have no access to some real instruments they want to use, so and then they kind of resort to substitutes like a computer, like VSTs and this kind of stuff. But it's often sounds clean, and it's all sounds artificial then for me. But I think you can kind of deal with that problem, if it's a problem for a musician, because it's maybe a problem only for me as a listener. But I would deal with this problem by kind of downgrading the sound, making the music sound more retro or vintage. Because of that, in my opinion, albums with similar music released in the 90s still hold up well, while those created later, not necessarily. And I have to be honest, it disturbs my reception of this otherwise good album, well arranged, richly arranged, melodic and atmospheric. At times it is even sung quite well, like in the track 4, Voile du Temps. Although I have the impression that at times those vocals are too much lost in the mix. And I'm sure that this album will find its fans, because these songs are, like I said, multi-layered, but not overwhelming. Sometimes they can charm with a nice melody or some surprising motive, but I can't quite bring myself to it. It is like, it's my opinion only, because I think for many of you it may not be a problem, but for me it is like eating something that's actually tasty, but you feel some strange unnatural aftertaste. And when you later look at the list of ingredients of that product you eat, you see that there are a lot of some artificial enhancers and additives used, E125, E267, some chemical name I can't even pronounce, and eventually you will eat it, even with some pleasure, but enough is enough. Yeah, that would be everything. I almost forgot the one thing that kind of charmed me and I liked on this album is the use of a Polish voice in one of the tracks. It's probably some sample from some Bible audiobook from the Gospel according to St. Matthew. Like I didn't know that. I checked it in the internet because it was also some strangely sampled and edited. But anyway, kudos for using Polish language itself in one of the tracks. I think it was track 6. I don't remember. Anyway, Regarde Extrême, Echo Solemnis. And the last one for today, again the French name, but the project is from Finland. Dieux, the Cimetières. Oh my god. Säkeitä, esoteerisesta, Euroopasta. This is the title of the album. I won't say much about this one because it has been already reviewed on our blog. It was reviewed by Iaha Krax a few months ago. Just a few words because this is the third album by this Finnish one-man project for Steinklang. Previously, the musician Jesse Rihanen released few materials on his own. So he self-released them on Bandcamp. I think you can find them on Bandcamp. And the title of this album is, like I said, no, I won't repeat it again. You can read it right here. God's damn son. This title means verses on esoteric Europe, and these are kind of musical reflections on the condition of contemporary Europe and direction where it is heading, as the musician writes on the label's Bandcamp. Influenced by authors such as Juliano Kremerz, Oswald Spengler, H.P. Blavatsky and Michela Eliade, Verses on Esoteric Europe looks at the precarious present and uncertain immediate future of Europe, seeing the he writes Europa, seeing the signs of decay and corruption with an unflinching eye, but also the path to a new existence and a new Europa. It sees beyond the temporal a vision of Europa eternal, a tradition capable of surviving the night and, at the end, the cycle of ages. It is obvious that the conceptual and lyrical side of this album is very important, but it's entirely in Finnish. These are the lyrics, they are all in Finnish. So I don't understand anything of it. I think I had English translation somewhere. Something is dawning on me that I had them, but anyway, even if I did, I didn't check them. I'm sorry. So it is difficult for me to relate to them. So just about the music itself. It is martial, neoclassical, but in contrast to the previously discussed regard Extrême and the almost song-like nature of that Solemnis album, this album is rather based on solemn and elegiac hymns and built mainly with the help of synthesizers, again sometimes imitating choirs or organs, and I have to admit that this approach is closer to my heart than the one of Regard Extrême, although again you can feel this synthetic aftertaste here and there, but not so much, luckily, and this time it doesn't disturb the reception of the album so much. Sometimes I think it sneaks into this Säkeitä album a bit too much monotony, sometimes melodically, and in terms of sound, the album approaches dangerously close to the forbidden regions of Dungeon Synth. If you watch my videos, you know what's my feelings about Dungeon Synth and my love about this genre. But overall it is a good listen. It has a few moments when the spirit of this old school neoclassical martial I miss so much, this spirit, and there are some moments when it's brought back to life on this one, and Finnish melodiclamations give the album an additional flavor, even if I don't know what they say. And if you like this kind of neoclassical martial ambient, you don't have an aversion to sometimes to clean and to synthetic sounds, not always, just in a few moments, you can easily check this album out. Dieux, de Cimetières, Säkeitä, esoteerisesta, Euroopasta. That's it. That's it for today. 4 albums from Steinklang Industries. If I had to choose my favorite of these 4, I think it would be this one, In Search of Death 1. But overall, it is maybe not groundbreaking, but a very solid batch of releases showing still a good form and potential of Steinklang Industries. This label doesn't go beyond a certain level, in my opinion, you know. Check them out if you want. Maybe not all of them. You have to check which kind of music is closest to your heart, because you know, this one is more aggressive. This one is more, like I said, solemn. This one is like more song-like, you know, and catchy for a normal listeners. Yeah. Anyway. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please click like, leave a comment if you want, because it's always good for ranges. This is the last video. For this moment I will take a 1 month break because of some personal reasons, but in May we'll get back to reviewing new stuff on this channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in a month.